price tags are out of this world. They have shit on clearance, but it's like no shit that you would need. You know what I mean? Like a scarf. It's the summer. Who needs a scarf? They had other dumb shit like baby shoes, and outgrew those shits a while ago. You know what I mean?
Mad Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to build the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. You wet Prada, the devil like inside your box now. While the angels fly over my headstone.
We are back with another episode of the God's Hour podcast with your boy Big Cerbavelli, back in the place to be, La America Superior, Palace 81 in the building, live in effect, live and direct, time and time again. Tell your girlfriend for me, it's your boy Mr. Nine Times. Over the weekend, let's get right into it. Saturday, I wanted to go shooting. I couldn't go shooting because my tia Mago had fell into some sort of ditch or some sort of configuration that they're doing construction in the back of my tia Mago's house. I hadn't seen my tia Mago in years, bro. I hadn't seen my cousin Cruz in like 4 years. It's pretty wild, you know what I mean? His brother David, which I hadn't seen David, dude, since I was like a kid. It's probably been like over 10 years since I seen David and been over to their house in Southgate. And it's kind of crazy because they're really my dad's cousins, but they're more so like in my age. David's a little older. David's probably like in his 30s, like mid 30s by now. But Cruz is like only a year older than me, and he's my dad's cousin. I think all Mexican families have, like, you know, you have an uncle that's just a little bit older than you or younger than you. You have family members you've never seen in your life. I mean, we have a huge family tree, so I can only imagine the family I have in Mexico. Because here in America, it's kind of, I don't know everybody. Like I've heard we've had family members all over the map, so I don't even know for sure for a fact who's where. I know we have like family. I think I've spoken on this before, but in Ohio and wherever else. While I was in Southgate, I saw my tia Mago, and she has shattered her ankle. They were doing construction. They're trying to build something. I don't know if they're trying to build like some sort of house in the backyard. I doubt it. It'd be a tiny, tiny little ass house. I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing some sort of construction. And my tia Mago, she fell. So my tia Mago is actually my dad's tia, my grandpa's sister. So that's how my cousins, they're not my cousins, they're really my uncles, but they're like fucking barely older than me. David's older than me by 10 years, but it's just kind of crazy. That just talking about it just trips me out because I don't really have that. I'm not really cool with family like that, or I don't really know about other family members that I have that kind of relationship towards. I know my cousin Babes, he's my real cousin. That's my Theo. Actually, no, is he my uncle? I don't even know. You see, like now it's like they could be my cousin, they could be my uncle. I want to say Babes is my uncle. He's not my cousin because that's my Theo John's, right? That's my Theo John's son. But my Theo John is my dad's Theo, so that would make Babes my uncle. I have no idea what the fuck is going on with this shit. Thinking about it now, just know that if you're Mexican, you probably have uncles and cousins that are probably not your really uncles and cousins. They're probably something else. I have no idea. I hadn't seen my Mago in a long time, so it was really cool. I seen David. I think that's like his wife or something like that. She's cool. They have like a bunch of kids. And I see my my uncle Kooks, and he got fat. So that was cool to see. I'm like, Kuko, you fucking like you got fat on me, homie. You been eating too much church's chicken or whatever the fuck. But that was cool. On Saturday, went to go see them. After that, it was the Tony Hinchcliffe show. And I couldn't have been more excited for this, man. I got all dressed up, polo khakis, brought the Adidas out. I only wore one time. And I was thinking, you know what, maybe I'll go to the mall, get some sneakers or some shit like that. Nah, the room was already packed at the Improv. The room was already, it was a 250 plus room, and there was probably like only 50 to 100 seats available. Like it was already on and cracking. The room was already loud. People are talking, drinking, ordering food. And the menu looked pretty good, but obviously when you go anywhere now, the food and everything else is going to be hella expensive. So I'm like, no, I don't really want to buy nothing. I know there was like a 2-drink minimum or something like that, but I didn't care. I was going to get a water and chips and guacamole before the night was done. I didn't really care. That like I see some boneless wings, like homie the side of me ordered some boneless wings. I'm like, those shit smell mad vinegary, yo. So I was like, I don't know about those shits. And plus, they were like $20 for like some boneless wings. You tripping right now. Heavy, you tripping right now. I wasn't about to do that shit. Go home and make some fucking boneless wings even better. So I'm waiting there for like an hour. And that hour felt forever because they locked all our phones. They give you like these little pouches that they could only open at like the front of the building. So it was weird. Like it took me to a place I haven't been to in a long time. Like as a kid, you didn't have a fucking phone. You just wherever, if it was a doctor's appointment, if you were at the park, if you were anywhere, you just were there in the moment. Now I feel like with phones, it really distracts you from really being in the moment of things. So I'm literally just soaking in everything in. And after about like maybe for the first 20 or 30 minutes, I'm like, it really creeped me out. Like, cause I'm just there by myself where there's other couples, there's other people, dates, girlfriends, things like that. So I'm just looking around and I'm like, fuck, I am one lonely motherfucker right here. And I'm like in the bar area and it's like 3 other seats. And it's like some random dude, some other random dude, and then some other random dude next to me who didn't know Tony Hinchcliffe at all. Like, he didn't know. Everyone there, I assume, is trying to see Tony Hinchcliffe. Like, if you're there to see a comedian, I would hope you would at least know who the comedian is a little bit. Like, just, you don't have to know their whole get down. Just like watch a few jokes. This guy next to me was like, oh yeah, I just wanted to watch a show. And I'm like, well, this fool is funny. Like to me, it's like Tony Hinchcliffe has like this kind of really edgy, I would say dark sense of humor that is missing. I feel like everyone wants to be squeaky clean and everyone wants to be politically correct and a lot of things that I feel take away from comedy, versus Tony just goes totally opposite of that. Like, he don't give 5 flying fucks about any of the rules. Like, he will talk about some really, really like, wow, you said that shit? Like, holy moly. And this fool was bitching like, oh, they locked their phones up. What's up with that? And I told him like, yo, somebody accused Tony of saying some racist shit, filmed it, put it on the internet, and I haven't seen it myself, but Tony himself said on the Theo Von podcast that he put his video out of what he really said. Like, this is like, these are all jokes. Like, I'm not being serious. And I feel like locking the phones up is like a 2-for-1 special. One, it's like you're disconnected from the phone, so it connects you with the comedian. It really, you're not worried about, oh, this was like some funny shit, let me film it, or fuck this fool, look at what he said, and you try to make a big fucking deal about it. You're in the moment, and that's what I really appreciated. And on the other hand, it kind of like, fuck, I forgot what my other point was. It just makes you engage more with the comedian, right? So I really appreciated that. So while I'm there, what is it? The waiter keeps asking me if I'm good, and if I'm good, are you good? And, 5 minutes later, you all right? 5 minutes later, you good? Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? It was kind of like, bro, like, just stop asking me questions, bro. Like, I'm here, I'm fucking waiting. I don't have a phone. The show's not started. Like, you really want to help me out? Like, go fuck yourself. Like, go get the fuck out of here, bro. You know what I mean? So he kind of took the hit, and he didn't bother me for the rest of the night, which I thought was cool. And then probably like maybe 20 minutes into Tony's cell, I was like, yo, you mean chips and guacamole right here. And then when he brought them shits later on, he was like, you guys order chips and guacamole? I'm like, I ordered some chicks. If you could order chicks, I would too. I ordered chips and guacamole, so slide them through, Holmes. Like, this is, like, we're not on a date. Like, me and this fool, like, I don't even know this fool. I don't want nobody getting it misconstrued. And it was really weird. 4 dudes all, like, in a bar type shit. That sounds like the premise of a good joke. But I'm like, nah, man, these are for me. Like, I'm Dolo right here trying to watch a comedy show. Tony Hinchcliffe comes once a year to the Improv, if that. So I want to see it. And I had a hell of a show. William Montgomery opened up, and you could tell, like, just based off of Tony and William, you could see who's the more experienced comedian. You could tell, like, William brought out, like, a notebook where, like, his jokes were, and towards the end of his set, he kind of forgot not his pacing, but like where he was and like wherever his jokes were. So you could tell, like, he's looking at his notes. He's like, oh, okay, like, I'll say this one. But him too, William has like a really edgy style, and I feel like that's even more extreme. Like, if you don't really like Tony style comedy, you're really not gonna like Williams for sure. But I love Tony, so I was all down for William Montgomery's set. And I don't really remember the jokes, but I remember being like, oh, okay, like, you could tell it was hits or misses. Like, he started off really strong, and you could tell, like, after about, maybe he did like a 25-minute set or something, but like the last half, you could tell it was really hit or miss versus like he came out really strong, which is what you want, and then kind of taper off. I remember there were points in the night where something he thought was funny or should have got like a bigger pop, he would scream like, where the fuck am I? Like that shit was funny, and that I thought that was comical. Sometimes the comics' reaction to the crowd is more comical than what they actually said. I've seen that happened a few times in the show. So I enjoyed it. William's set was pretty cool. I'm glad it wasn't like, I think I've only been on one comedy show before this, and those were, I don't even remember it, but I just don't like seeing comedian after comedian to like the headliner. I don't want to see 10 comedians up until the headliner. I don't want to see nobody bomb. I want to see a good show. Granted, maybe that's me being selfish, but I know what the fuck I came for, and these fucking scammers sending me shit, bro. Jesus fucking Christ. Mark ass spam over here taking. This is how you know I have like half an ADD, dog, because I'm over here like letting shit distract me over here. We got sales on Turner's, that's right. A special. What kind of special we got? Let me see. Glock 22. Oh, but I think Glock 22 is off the roster. Oh, no. Can you get a Glock 22? $550. That's the regular price for a Glock. $600 for a Glock 22 SF. What else we got? Ooh, 92 FS Brigadier, whatever. Got the finger grooves. That's very nice. 92 FS. My dad already got that. Ruger SR22, no. Beretta 32 ACP. There's not really any firearms that I like on this special. Now that we're doing a whole Turner's review on this shit. Yeah, even like the ARs don't even look that feed, man. And I've already talked about the ARs, how they just butcher the fuck out of them. Yeah. So anyway, with the comedy show, I remember William. William was really political. Like I don't know. I don't usually see too many political type jokes on like Kill Tony, the sets that he does, the minutes that he does. I'm not really familiar with William's solo like sets, but like very political. A lot of them were like Biden and things of that nature. Tony had some political shit too, which I thought was interesting. But one of the funniest jokes though was like, what's the difference between like what's the difference between the Taliban and Joe Biden or something like that? And he says something, I don't support Joe Biden or some funny shit. That was like the one that I remember I really liked from William Montgomery. And it wasn't like long or drawn out. It was like William just went up there, he did a good set, and then Tony came right on up and he did about, let's just say like 45 minutes, really stretched it out. And I really enjoyed that. You know, it wasn't like a special or something where you have like all these jokes and then you get off the stage. Like, no, like he was picking people out in the crowd. Like there was this chick, like he was like, raise your hand if you're black. And this chick who was like white or something, I couldn't get a really good eye on her, but he was like, there's no way you're black. Is your dad Mexican? Like, what's going on? Like there was some funny moments that he was picking out the crowd and a lot of the stuff. Oh, this was my point, going back to locking the phones up. Locking your phones up means you could like really test out your material and say some like really otherworldly shit. And you have like 100%, you're like 100% sure no one's going to be filming you or anything like that. Cause it's very obvious you're like, and like everyone else's phone is locked up. It was very obvious that everyone was engaged. There was a point in the night where Tony was talking about like fat white bitches, and a gargantuan white fat bitch was next to me. No disrespect to the fat white bitches out there, but she was taking up 2 seats type shit. And she like, I don't know if she yawned or she did some shit, but she was about to like hit me in the fucking head with her big ass turkey leg arm and shit like that. Granted, I got fat arms too, but this bitch was really fat. You know what I mean? And it was funny because I could tell like, she was laughing up until that point, and this was like the either right in the beginning or like a quarter of the way in. After that, she didn't say shit. Like she was just looking at this fool like this isn't funny. Me, on the other hand, you could like, and this is how you could tell who's a really big fan, because I'm there laughing, clapping, and I'm like, oh shit, like he said that, while everyone else kind of was quiet. And there were only a few moments where Tony was getting these pops from like the whole crowd, but I felt like I was one of the only few. And like the homie, we could tell he was a Kill Tony fan too. Like the on the other side, on the other fucking seat next to me, he was laughing at some of the same places I was laughing at. So I'm like, oh okay, this fool gets it. Like now I don't feel like I'm alone. Like am I just being like a weirdo laughing at like some of these dumb jokes? Oh, okay, it's like, all right, I'm not alone on this one. You know what I mean? So while the show's going on and shit, I'm like, I'm like, I can't believe I haven't had like this fun in a while. Like as far as going out, I don't go out. I don't go to the clubs. I don't fucking do parties. Like my party days is over type shit. So I'm not really going out and doing shit. So I'm really enjoying the show. And like this is how you know I've had for ADD, because I'm not even really there. I'm just kind of like in and out, just in my mind, like fucking looking at the colors and things of that nature. Not really 100% in there, but there was a lot of jokes Tony said that was hilarious. He had like, he was talking about who saw Black Adam, and I raised my hand. He didn't address me, but he's like, nobody saw Black Adam because I'm the only one there. He's like, I'm pretty sure Black Adam was a horrible movie, and I'm like, nah, like Black Adam was pretty good. Like I don't like superhero movies, but Black Adam was a pretty funny movie. He didn't even mention The Rock, which I thought that was kind of like, why didn't he mention The Rock? That could have been a good joke. He could have went a lot of other places talking about The Rock, but he didn't. So I'm gonna put my fucking phone on silent because I don't wanna deteriorate from the shit. So he was talking about how Black Adam isn't like the blackest superhero, or that like that's like saying Black Kyle or something. Like Black Adam has to be like the weirdest name for a black superhero. And he's like, he said, then he went on to say like, oh, somebody pointed out in the crowd in one of his shows that Black Adam was imprisoned for 5,000 years, and he was like, you know what? That's the blackest superhero now. He was incarceration for 5,000 years. That shit had me laughing. He had he pointed like some one black dude. His name was like Isaiah or something like that. And at some point, Isaiah had went to the restroom, and he does a joke like from the chick who says she was black to Isaiah, and they're like, yo, like he's not there, like he went up and took a piss or something like that. And he was like, really? And he was like, oh, I couldn't even tell the difference. He was like in the darkness or some shit like that. Like that was funny as fuck to me. And that's not me having like a racial sense of humor. Like it was just like some funny shit. Like who gives a fuck, right? And that's what I really got towards the end of the night or whatever. He was like, a lot of these I can't put on YouTube. So I don't know if he's going to put some of those clips on YouTube. I hope he does, because that was a great night. I don't know if, for me at least, I had a really great time. I don't know if he would consider it, looking at the footage or whatever, if he liked it, but I thought it was dope. So he was just saying some jokes and shit like that. You know, nothing too crazy. There was like, it was just like a real intimate setting. You know what I mean? It was a good show. Nothing like fucking groundbreaking. You know what I mean? It just seemed like Tony had just some material he was working on. Maybe like one or two jokes that he knew for sure was going to get a good pop. But he had this like Helen Keller joke where he was saying something about Helen Keller. But he was like, if Helen Keller was here right now at my show, she wouldn't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. She would just be filling the table, trying to feel the rhythm of the laughs. Like, and he did this shit that had me dying, where he was like, some shit like that. Like, that shit had me rolling. That probably was the night. That was the joke of the night for me, where I was fucking like dying at that point. Like, I didn't even do it justice. Like, you really have to go see the show and see that joke for you to get it. I wanted to record the set too, but I don't know if I was gonna get in trouble or something. Like, I was just gonna do the audio only, but whatever. It was one of the fucking best comedy shows I've ever been to. Oh, I saw Jeff Dunham. That's who I seen. I saw Jeff Dunham, and all he did was say all his old jokes. Tony, he had like jokes I've like never even heard before, which I thought was awesome. So, what a night, man. What a fucking night. Sunday, it was Pokemon Go Community Day Classic with Squirtle. So 2019 was the first community day for Squirtle. And so I was at the mall catching Squirtles and shit. It was awesome. It was cool. I ended up buying a Lacoste polo. I went to the Ralph Lauren store because I'm like, you know what? Let me get some Ralph Lauren. You know what I mean? Look fly and shit. The price tags are out of this world. They have shit on clearance, but it's like no shit that you would need. You know what I mean? Like a scarf. It's the summer. Who needs a scarf? They had other dumb shit like baby shoes, and outgrew those shits a while ago. You know what I mean? A whole bunch of clothes on clearance that I was like, I'm not even going to rock this shit. So I'm playing or whatever, and then I see the Lacoste store, and I'm like, oh shit, I love Lacoste. You know what I mean? I don't think I've ever had anything Lacoste, like no socks, no shoes, no none of that. I've seen some cool Lacoste sneakers that look like Gucci shoes and shit, but I seen that there was 50% sale on these polos, and I said, yeah, I'm gonna fucking get on that shit, bro, because polos now are definitely like 50 and up right now. $60, that's the deal. You know what I mean? And it's like good quality, you know, and I really liked it. You know, it's not like Ralph Lauren where it's like $110 for a polo, and it just seems like, I don't know, it doesn't seem, it just doesn't seem worth it. Versus Lacoste, I feel like it's more reputable. Shout out to all my Filipinos out there. All of them were up in there buying Lacoste and stuff. I don't know why Lacoste is big with Filipinos, but it is. You could Google check that shit for me. So I got a gray polo. Probably gonna rock it for a photo shoot next time with Ray or something like that. And I wanted to get food over there at the Mills or something like that, but it was just like, I don't know. I just didn't do it. Didn't end up eating nowhere. Just came home and ate some chili dogs. And the weekend was pretty chill, man. Nothing to complain about. Really dope. Went out of the house finally and, you know, saw some shit. Saw a good show. Was out and about. Enjoying myself. You know, I don't really enjoy myself like that too much. I'm kind of always doing music or something like that, you know, that pertains to some sort of work, as something like that. It just doesn't it doesn't pertain to me enjoying myself. So anytime I could just enjoy myself now, I think I'm just gonna do it. You know, a few weeks ago, my uncles and shit, they want to go see a boxing match. I ain't trying to see no fucking boxing match. Boxing, I mean, boxing is cool, don't get me wrong, but when it's like Tyson, Mayweather, you know, real reputable boxers like that, I'm not trying to see no names, you know what I mean? Unless it's Deontay Wilder or Gervonta Davis or something like that, I could really give two flying fucks about boxing or anything else. Really, the only sport I would like to see like that, I don't care if it's the World Cup, like if it's not the World Cup or whatever, it'd be like hockey. Hockey is something like, I love the Kings, and that's something I would really enjoy watching. Especially my pops is taking me to several Kings games that I was in the suites. You know what I mean? I don't know if they call them not the box seats. Are they the box seats or whatever? Where you could just, they have complimentary food. They have the TV right there. If you don't want to go out and watch it, you got the TV. You could just watch it. Like, which I don't know why you would fucking do that. You know, you sit out there and enjoy the fucking as it's happening. You know what I mean? If you wanted to watch TV, just stay the fuck home. But I remember one time as a kid, my dad, he took me to a Kings game, and it was like with a few of his coworkers or something like that. And this fool ordered, like, no lie, this fool ordered the whole fucking California Pizza Kitchen pizzas, like the minis, like just stacks and stacks of fucking pizzas and shit. And me being a little fat fuck, I ate probably like 4 pizzas and shit by myself. I remember to this day how fat I fucking felt. Like I probably gained 25 pounds right there in that one sitting. And they had like those, those candy carts. They just come out and they got the candy, all like the chocolate, you know, whatever, chocolate pretzels, chocolate cookies, and whatever it is. Like they just have all the sweets. So that's from what I remember being. They have hot dogs and ginger ale and all kinds of other things from what I remember in the boxies, but the hockey games is like where it's at for me. Like fools is like giving putazos out there. Fools are like really, you know, fucking like going heads up into the glass and shit. That's entertainment to me. Fucking baseball's boring, basketball's boring. All these other dumbass sports are boring as hell to me, except hockey. And I'm not even a big Kings fan. The Kings get down. And Ontario here, they got a farm system where like the best players in Ontario, the Reign, they go to the Kings. So I got a double time represent for the Kings and the Reign. I'm just a big fan of the sport. You know what I mean? It's dope to me. Plus, it's like, you know, when the summertime, perfect. You go to the hockey game, it's like fucking like 65 degrees in there. Hell yeah. I'm in there. Count me in. I ain't free AC and shit and a good show. Come on now, bro. Who don't like a good deal? I'm all about deals. I'm all about sales. That's the thing with me. I'm a sucker for deal. If it's 2 for 1 on anything, I'm going to get it. If it's 2 for 1 on the licorice, give me the licorice. Give me 4 of them shits. All right? Because I know it's going to be half off on that shit. If it's, you know, like with the Lacoste sale, I wasn't even going to buy shit. $110. Who the fuck is going to buy $110 for a polo? 50% off? All right, fuck it. You got a deal. $60 plus tax. Got a good polo. Name brand, brand name firearm, brand name thing, brand name car, brand name, brand name guns. Yeah, man, any sort of sale, because you don't see really sales like that out there, except you go to like the grocery store and it's like on the weekends, 4 for $4, something like that on the sodas. Or there used to be 2 for $5 for the chips. They didn't got them shits no more. It's like $3.50 for one bag of chips now. I remember when the Frito Flamin' Hot Fritos was 2 for $5. Now it's like $3.50 for one. Or it's 2 for $7 now. Crazy, man. That shit is wild. Inflation is like is ridiculous nowadays. I just got Far Cry 6. Amazing game. This is my shit right now. Far Cry 3 was good. Far Cry 4 was probably my favorite game out of all of them. 5 was all right. But something about 4, maybe it was the nostalgia for me. Far Cry 4 was an amazing game. Probably my favorite one. I got New Dawn. I don't know what it is. I don't know about the color saturation or the aesthetics of it. I couldn't even figure it out how to play the fucking game. Like, you have a compass and shit, like no real objectives and all that. I literally, after the first mission, didn't even know what the fuck to do. I still have the game. But there's so many fucking games I bought that I haven't even played, which is like another habit of mine. The same thing with the sneakers and the clothes and shit. I'll buy it and I won't even use it. Like, I'll just buy it and then it'll take up space. I think I got that from my mom. My mom has like 100 pairs of shoes, 200 pairs of sneakers, 300 shirts. Like, no lie. Like, I might be like, my mom has like a closet full in her room, and then like in the other room we have, you know what I mean? We balling out here. I don't want to flex on nobody, but I mean, we balling. I don't know about my mom, but she just spends all her money on like ridiculous. Like, you didn't need to buy that. Like, why are you buying this many pairs of shoes and clothes and shit? You know what I mean? Far Cry 6 is an amazing game. And they took it to a whole nother level. I don't think they have skills on this one. So before in Far Cry, you would have like skills, right? So you would rank up, get skills, and you could throw 2 fucking knives, fucking slice someone and pull their pistol out, shoot 2 fools and shit like that, fucking slide, do a roll, fucking shoot somebody in the head, things like that, right? Skills that as you will progressively go through the game, you could be able to get. But Far Cry 6, it's like, fuck that. We're going to do just straight guns and modifications. And I really like that as a breath of fresh air. You do, if you're familiar with Far Cry, then you do already have some of those mechanics already there where you do a silent takedown, pull a knife out, fucking throw it and hit somebody in the face. And they fucking fall and shit. Fucking love that shit. You don't have to get skills for it. They want you concentrated on customization on your weapon, so you could spray paint your weapons, which I think was already there, I want to say, in Far Cry, but they have like just better customization features. You could put like those things on the dashboard, like the Honolulu player or whatever, you could put on your dashboard in the car. They have like things like that. Like, you could just improve your weapons, put silencers, or like what's some things like the muzzles on the rifles and things. Like, I don't know what they're called, but the cars you can modify, which you can never do before. Like, you have a certain car where you could like have like some sort of shovel or something, so when you ram a car, you flip that bitch over. Just the whole get down of Far Cry 6 is fire. And I think since like Far Cry, I want to say 4, pretty much it's a takeover game. It's a sandbox takeover. You're just taking over little area, and it's a huge map. Far Cry 6, I think, is the biggest map. I'm like, shit, I gotta fucking do this whole shit. Fuck. It's gonna take a long time. You know what I mean? Far Cry Primal, I don't even think I beat that game, but I think I've only completed like the first top half of the map, and that shit is already, you're in the snow, you're in the fucking, you know what I mean? There's a whole wide variety of areas that you could go into, and that's just the top half. And I'm still not even done with Far Cry Primal, but it's a fire game too. 6 though, it just takes it to a whole nother level, and I'm barely like out of the epilogue and into the one of the first areas you could go into. And what was I gonna say? So it's basically a takeover. So you just take over little areas until you take over the whole area, and you overthrow like whoever it is you need to like fucking kill, like the big boss battle at the end. So, I think it's really dope because it really like they went all out with Far Cry 6. I don't want to like spoil it too much, but basically like in Far Cry 4, it was there's enemy troops that are around, but once you pretty much take over the area, they're not there anymore. Versus in Far Cry 6, once you take over the area, that don't mean they're gone. Like they're still around. You know what I mean? They're driving through in tanks and shit, or not tanks, but like in turrets and shit, and you can still like fuck them up. You know what I mean? But there's like a notoriety meter. So once you start killing enough of these fools, they send the special forces on your ass, which I thought was really cool. It brings like this element of like Grand Theft Auto to it, and I really enjoy playing the game, man. I haven't enjoyed playing Far Cry like this since Far Cry 4 came out, which was already like 10 years ago, which is wild. You know what I mean? I could just remember yesterday I had a big ass, fat ass dinosaur TV with the old box. You know, remember when TVs were like boxes? You know what I mean? Now they're flat screens. But yeah, on the 360, and now I have a PS4 and I'm playing Far Cry 6. It's a great game. In total right now, I give it like a solid fucking 9. You know, just really dope. I would highly advise. One little gripe about it though, they always do this to where they want you to focus on like rifles and ARs, and they don't really have too much of selection on the sidearms. So that's something I would like for them to work on in the future. Like all I have is 2 pistols and like a fucking Scorpion, you know, submachine gun, which is cool, you know what I mean? But that's what they've been doing for like the past few games. I want them, like if you're gonna bring customization, bring it all the way in. Like I want to be able to fucking have like, what is it, a ballistic knife fucking, you know, if I wanted to, you know, just bring more weapons into the game. So that's my only shit with Far Cry 6. And there were 16 mass fucking shootings on the 4th of July, and I couldn't believe it. When I seen this shit on the news, I was like, you gotta be fucking shitting me, bro. Like, how many, like, I remember there was like, seeing that there was like 2 mass shootings in one day, and I'm like, this shit has really gotta stop, bro. Like, this, like, what the fuck is going on? Well, like, how is it okay for people to just shoot other people and it's like all good in the hood? You know what I mean? This shit is crazy. 15 people were killed, nearly 100 people injured. That's wild, yo. Let me see. Let me give you... Let me, like, just so you know this ain't bullshit, Washington, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Maryland twice, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, and 2 in Texas. How the fuck is this shit even a reality? I feel like this is a fucking Twilight Zone episode. I feel like, haven't I said that before? We're living in the fucking Twilight Zone. We're living in the fucking Twilight Zone, bro. One of the youngest victims over the weekend was a 14-year-old boy who was killed early on Wednesday in a shooting on a 4th of July block party on Maryland's Eastern Shore. 6 others were injured. I don't even want to name all the people who were killed. Like, this is fucking ridiculous. You know? And you want to ban guns? You want to ban guns for what? So when you get shot, you just can't defend yourself? That shit is crazy, bro. 16 mass fucking shootings. Can you imagine? Like, we're so desensitized to this shit. What if there were like... What if this was some other shit, like 16 mass murders? Or wait, that's the same fucking thing. Like, what if it was 16 mass rapes? or 16 mass fucking like child molestations, we would be taking this shit very fucking seriously. But since this shit is on the news all the time, and somehow a mass shooting is going on every 60 seconds, like when a baby's born or some shit like that, no one gives a fuck. You know? That is wild. It's crazy, bruh. Like, I've said everything I needed to say about mass shootings. Y'all know how I feel about mass shootings, bro. Like, it's ridiculous. It's unnecessary. And I don't know what the fuck we need to do, but we need to do something fast, because I feel like this is just an avalanche of just shit. Okay, 16 on 4th of July. Okay, we're going to have another 16 next year. We're going to have fucking 20. We're going to have 28 or some bullshit. When are we just going to be like, you know what? On your birthday, on your 18th birthday, we're just going to give you a Glock 19. Fuck it. Glock 19, 25 rounds of some hollow tips and 2 clips. Fuck it. What else? And then mandatory, you got to fucking take a carry concealment class and some sort of like police training. If they just did that for everybody, we will see a lot of this shit getting better, bro, because I don't see nothing. I feel like the world is just getting worse. Like, we're just watching the world burn. And it's just becoming a bigger fire. You know what I mean? What happened to the days where we actually cared about each other and like we took things seriously? I feel like people are just on the phones distracted and no one really gives a fuck about shit. Like, as long as it don't permeate their little bubble, like, who cares? No, as long as we're not getting shot, as long as a mass shooting didn't happen next door, hey, and it's all good in the fucking hood. That's some fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? I don't know why my computer just died down real quick. That's weird. It was like really hot, now it's not. I don't know. Message of the day, man. Fuck all this serious bullshit. Go have fun, but be serious about serious matters. But go have fun, man. Like, enjoy yourself. Like, if you're one of those people like me where it's like just work all the time, you got to take a break. You got to know your limits. You got to know you as a person when you've had enough. Just say no to things you don't want to say no to, and say yes to the things that maybe you don't want to say no to because you have so much on your plate. Just fuck all this shit, man. Go have fun. Go have fun. Has this been a message before? I don't fucking know. But enjoy yourself, man. There's too many. What I see a lot, though, is a lot of people, they spend too much time enjoying themselves. And I feel like I see this with a lot of women. All they want to do is fucking party and shit like that. Well, guess what? Life ain't a fucking party. But to the people out there where it's always work, have a fucking party. Why not? Meet some girls and fucking have fun. You know what I mean? I don't have friends, so it's kind of like I don't really partake in any festivities, but when I can, I do it, and I love it, and I enjoy life. This is the God's Hour.
Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to build the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. You wet Prada, the devil like inside your box now.
While the angels fly over my headstone.